Every freaking year, nothing changes. Every year, it's the same shit. Heck, the Dodgers actually helped the Yankees last year by saying, "Hey guys, it's your fundamentals. Fix your fundamentals." But no. The Yankees can't do that. No. They're just going to prefer to gaslight you and tell you that everything is everyone else's fault. Everything's fine at their end. They are the best at what they do, and you all just have to shut your mouths. That's basically it, because that's the way the Yankees like to operate now. This is the soft culture. This is the soft culture, and it's a lot to do with Aaron Boone, but it starts from the top. Hal Steinbrenner. What did Hal Steinbrenner say? It's very hard to be an owner these days with the Dodgers spending. Imagine the Yankees owner saying that with a straight face. So that comes from the very, very top. So Hal Steinbrenner says it. And then you go down to Brian Cashman. Oh, I count us as the champions in 2017 because the Astros cheating, right? Even though the Dodgers were still in it. But yeah, he counts us as the champions in 2017. Soft culture, right? Oh, what did he say about Aaron Boone? He said that basically no coaches will ever get fired as long as they follow the quote-unquote process, and it's nothing to do with wins and losses, right? There you go. That's another one. Okay, there's another soft attitude right there. What happens every playoffs? More excuses, soft. And then we get to Aaron Boone, Mr. Bubbles himself. Mr. Bubbles. And Mr. Bubbles cultivates this. He has never once looked at the fundamentals in this organization, which is a mess. The fundamentals in this team are a joke. What was that today? What was that today? What was that today, guys? So, not only do we have Jazz Chisholm playing a horrible third base, he's playing a pathetic third base. It's really pathetic. We've got Volpe playing a pathetic shortstop. It's very erratic this year. But how about that play today where there was a pop-up to the catcher. Wells lets it drop in front of him while there was two other guys just standing there. They all just let the ball just bounce in front of them and let the runner get safe at first base because it was a wild throw from Wells way off base, right? Oh, and then afterwards, you have Bellinger who made a throw, but we didn't have anyone back up third base. And, of course, Jazz Chisholm can't handle a pretty reasonable throw. He could easily made the catch. He didn't because of his technique, and there was no one backing up at third. Fundamentals. This is the kind of shit that you would never see in middle school. This is the kind of shit that a coach would lose their shit at if you were playing t-ball. This is freaking absurd. This is absurd. No one backing up third base? That's just modern day easy. Come on, fundamentals. Everybody practices it except the Yankees. Come on. This is stupid. Come on. You gotta have some shame. Have some fucking shame. Unbelievable. It's just absurd. Yankee Stadium. On a weekend. Packed house. And that is the slop that you serve up to your customers? They should be lucky that any of them come back again. No effort. No accountability. No fundamentals. And they get beat 7-0 against the Oakland A's? 2 years ago, the A's had nobody, no fans going to their games. They were the living embodiment of the Major League Baseball movie franchise. where their owner was basically trying to tank in order to sell the team and move them, right? Now they're in Sacramento. So they don't have a home as present. The Oakland A's are now just the A's because they're no longer uh, affiliated with a fucking town, right? And they just beat the Yankees 7-0. Right? 2 seasons ago, they had nobody in the stands. The only people that went were a couple that were giving them each other sexual acts in the fucking upper decks. That was the only shit. That was the only reason why anyone would go to see an A's game. That was just 2 years ago. Now, they don't even have a fucking town. But they just beat the Yankees 7-0. At Yankee Stadium, packed house. It's just absurd. It's just absurd. Have some shame. I could take a loss, even if you do lose the A's. But practice fundamentals. Back up third base. Have a third baseman playing third base. How about that? Have Jazz Chisholm play his natural position, which is actually second base, guys. It's so difficult. It's absolutely absurd that they're okay with this. And the money that they charge to go to these games at Yankee Stadium. And you're not even guaranteed an effort? So shout out to Pete on NYYU. What did he say? Pull the whole team off the freaking field. Especially after that absurd play where there was a pop-up to Austin Wells and he deliberately let it drop just to not throw the runner out at first. This is the kind of slop, and I've not seen one apology. How about Aaron Boone just coming out and just saying that was an unacceptable effort today. We'll be better tomorrow. This is not acceptable for the New York Yankees. Something. But no, he's too fucking soft. He is. And it's just absurd. It's absurd. It's absurd. It's frustrating. It's so stupid. And I've been saying the same shit over and over again. And it's just like the Yankees just paid no attention to what they need to fix. The Dodgers basically said it. What did they call it? Yankee defense is what they called it, right? And instead, there were some members of the fan base that were going after the Dodgers because of it. Aaron Boone felt he was being bullied by the Dodgers. Oh, I think they were bullying us, to be fair. Well, how about you just own up to it? How about you just learn the lesson? How about you just learn the lessons? The reason why you lost the World Series, by and large, was because of your lack of fundamentals. By and large. And that is crazy to me. Considering that World Series, the Dodgers had a better team. But really, the key difference was a manager. But most importantly, the key difference was in fundamentals. All the Dodgers needed to do is put the ball in play and then watch the Yankees shoot themselves in the foot. Right? And have the Yankees address that this season? Absolutely freaking not. Absolutely freaking not. They have not addressed it. They've done nothing about it because they're self-satisfied. They're arrogant. They're in a bubble. They've got a bunker mentality. They would rather blame external factors than look at themselves. It really is not difficult. Nothing I'm saying here is difficult to fix. It takes a bit of introspection. It takes a bit of going, right, this isn't working. These guys are playing very sloppy. This is not the Yankee brand. We should be doing better, especially against teams like the A's. And the most important thing is we really need to start getting our defense fixed, get our fundamentals fixed. But you saw it in the Red Sox series where they were basically determined to lose it for whatever reason because they just kept getting themselves thrown out on the base paths. Did that get addressed? No, absolutely not. Did our lack of defense get addressed at any point? No, absolutely not, because it's actually worse today. So there's a lack of leadership, there's a comfort, there's an arrogance, and all of that has to be addressed. And I'm waiting for it to be addressed because it's never once been addressed in over the last couple of years. It's absurd at this point. It's just too much. Let's get into some of the chat. We got plenty of people in the chat. Everybody hit the like button. I can see there's well over 30 people in the chat, and we're only 10 minutes in the stream, so that's a pretty good start. If y'all could hit the like button, share it out. Let's get more people involved in the chat. Listen, guys, it's going to be interactive. I want to interact with you guys. You interact with me. It's a one-on-one situation here. I want to talk to y'all. Let's get your thoughts. Let's start with Jonathan. He's the early bird for this stream. I have no idea. This is in terms of the title. I have no idea. Yankees look too comfortable with their lack of fundamentals. Exactly my point, Jonathan. We got Alex in the chat. What up? Y'all stay tuned because me and Alex will be doing some streams very, very soon. I think we'll be doing a Yankee Mets stream very soon and some other things. So y'all please sub up to my guy Alex's channel. He's doing the Lord's work with the Giants content. We got Louis in the chat. Fix this lineup. Yeah, I want to get into the lineup. That's my next topic of conversation. Nothing will change until Aaron Boone is let go. Preach. You're getting a star for that, my friend. We have got Dev Fidge, although it's now under DF Sports Network. What's up, Donald and everyone? What is up, Dev? Thanks so much for joining. Evan is pissed. So am I. Pathetic effort. Absolutely pathetic. And whenever me and Evan watch a game together, bad things tend to happen. We always tend to lose badly. Me and Evan were in the building to watch the Yanks get beat like 15-2 against the Mets or something last year. So there we go. Jets, mess, salute. Well, I'll tell you what else is a mess. It's the Yankees of 2025. Salute to you, man. Thank you for joining. We got too many selfish hitters. Exactly. They're all trying to hit out of their shoes. Lack of fundamentals. It's over. Salute to you. Trade Wells. Make Ben Rice starting catcher. That's my next point. We're going to put that on the docket. So remind me to get into that because I do entirely agree with that point. Alex has got Volpe's stats, and that's another thing on the docket. You know, it's not going to be a stream with Donald until I get after some Anthony Volpe. So you're going to have some Anthony Volpe talk, some Austin Wells and Ben Rice talk as well. This lineup. Donald, why is this stream not showing our regular names in the chat? I would love to know why this is happening. I can only say it's possibly a YouTube thing because it's nothing to do with us. I don't know what that is all about. It's very weird, and I have no idea. So just blame it on YouTube. Team is very inconsistent. Well, I would say one thing I would say, man, this team is actually pretty consistent. It's consistent in its inconsistency. It's consistent in what it delivers, which is mediocre baseball. They're incredibly consistent at delivering mediocre baseball. They've been excellent at it for a long time. In fact, they could probably teach a university degree in it. That's how good they are at serving up mediocre ball since 2020. Stevie B in the chat. Salute, my guy. Jonathan spot on here. Boone was hired to comfort the players. Exactly. Very good point because that's it. And that's another thing that it just irritates me to the point where I'm trying to work out why this is this new thing in sports. The sports industry is the most competitive industry, I would say. It's one of the most competitive industries in the world. Like, sports is incredibly competitive, right? You're getting guys that are playing a kid sport, and you're paying them millions and millions of dollars. The very least that you should expect is for them to play hard every single day, and to be held to a standard that the organization that they play for represents. Like, for instance, the Yankees, 27 world champions, it, Mount Rushmore that could basically go on for about 20 names. No other franchise has the history that the Yankees do. I'm not saying anything out of school. It's just facts. That should be kind of a standard. But instead, the Yankees have now just gone, well, you know what? Let's just comfort our guys. We don't want them to feel pressure. We don't want them to feel animosity from the fans. We don't want them to feel pressure from the media. We don't want them to feel under pressure. So we're just going to stroke their egos, and we're just going to feed them cupcakes. And we're all going to play games and sing songs and play guitar and sing Kumbaya together. That's what they do. And then they have, bubblegum blowing contests and whatever circle jerk that else they have planned in the locker room. And that's what they do. And I call bullshit on that. I do. I honestly, toughen up, guys. You can't handle being in New York, get out of New York. If you can't handle the pressure of wearing the pinstripes and having the Yankee logo on your hats, get out of New York. New York's not for you. It's really that simple. And the Yankees operated under that basically up until 2018. And by the way, that was basically the last time the Yankees were a very relevant organization. That was when they were at their best, when they actually held their players to that standard. But since Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner got together and decided this organization needs to be soft, that's when things started to go wrong. That's true. It is. That's just facts. Stevie B, lack of accountability comes from leadership. We know that. What else we got? Stevie B saying the Yankee analytics is basically shit and cupcakes from judging by the emoji. Not sure why Volpe is taking a step back. Not my shortstop. Amen, brother. Egyptian magician. I want to see the same lineup twice in a row. Good luck with that. Started since Boone was hired. Exactly. Got a good comment here. 90s Yankees had 6 guys who hit for contact. 1 guy who could do both in Bernie. 2 guys who are power bats. That's how you construct a lineup. It doesn't matter if it's 1920, 1980, 2008, 2018, or 2025. Baseball is very much the same. You need to have a coherent roster. You need to have a batting lineup that complements each other. You need to have a good mixture between athleticism and contact. You need guys that can work counts. You need guys that preferably don't strike out 10 times a game. Power is important, but you don't need an entire roster of guys that are aiming for the short porch, because it will break your habits. You will hit home runs naturally if you have a solid swing. But the Yankees are going against that. And since that has happened, and since they've not been able to put together a coherent roster, it's still the same shit. AKA the Dodgers. Amen. Don't see my Jazz comment. I will. What else have we got here? FJ in the chat. You need guys who don't always get out on the first pitch. Amen. Alex says Yankees under Aaron Boone, undetermined, overwhelmed, underprepared. Well said. Getting a star for that. Let's get into this stuff here. Right. Anybody else have some questions? Fire them over. Let's talk about some of the other stuff here. So the fundamentals is a mess, right? This has been a compliment. This has been a constant thing. So let's talk about when this started to derail this season. And I would say to you guys, and I don't know whether you guys agree, but this is what I'm going to say. I believe that this all started to go off the rails when the Yankees decided to put Jazz Chisholm over at third base. Out of nowhere this season. I really don't understand it. Jazz Chisholm, statistically, was having a very good year at second base this year. He was having a great year defending second base. So, don't know if y'all can see it here, but it really says everything here. On Baseball Reference, this year, Jazz Chisholm playing second base, right? Their defensive runs saved above average, Jazz Chisholm was +3. This is playing second base, right? Over the course of the year, defensive runs saved above average over a course of a season would be +14. This is on Baseball Reference. Go and check it out. Jazz Chisholm, this year's fielding statistics, right? So basically, you don't need to be a Jedi in order to figure out that, you know what? His fielding was very good at second base. Fielding percentage, 973 at second base. Plenty of nice things. Just the 3 errors at second over 29 games. He was playing very well at second base. But Aaron Boone can't have that. No, because DJ LeMahieu's coming back. Even though DJ LeMahieu has been playing third base predominantly over the last couple of years, he had to move DJ LeMahieu to second base, forcing Jazz over to third base. And here's what's changed. Instead of a +24 runs, total fielding runs above average at second, how about a -25 at third base? -3 defensive runs saved above average at third base as opposed to +3. How about a fielding percentage of 907 as opposed to 973? How about 4 errors? He's got well more than 4 errors now. I think his errors are up to like 7 as opposed to the 3. That is when things started to go horribly wrong. Jazz Chisholm is a good player. He needs to be playing in the right position. But I'll tell you what, he is an abysmal third baseman, guys. He is an absolutely abysmal third baseman. And I don't quite understand why the Yankees don't see it. He is a dreadful third baseman. You saw it there. When Bellinger made that throw, it was a fine throw. It wasn't an egregiously bad throw. It was about maybe a little bit offline, but you can easily grab it. But Jazz couldn't. Why? Because he's not a third baseman, that's why. Hello? Boone? Mr. Baseball Guy? I'm a baseball guy, bro. Are you? Well, Mr. Analytics here. Where's the Yankees Analytics? Because I'm just pulling up Baseball Reference. I could Google this shit. There are Harvard grads that are working for the Yankees that are getting paid to do this job. Do they not see this? I just pulled it up on baseballreference.com. It ain't hard. You Google this shit. Jazz Chisholm, statistically, is a very bad third baseman. Worse than he was last year at third base. By a margin. And I'll tell you why. And it's nothing really to do with Jazz Chisholm. It's because the Yankees are screwing him around. I'll tell you why the Yankees are screwing him around. Because this entire past offseason and spring training, Jazz Chisholm was playing what position, guys? That's right, Johnny. He was playing second base. Right. So the Yankees' philosophy and plan this entire offseason was for Jazz Chisholm to play second base. But just because DJ LeMahieu came back from injury, that they had to swap it around during the middle of the season. For what purpose, God only knows. But that's when things started to go wrong. Because the thing is, the Yankees knew, right? And I know there's going to be some fans that are gaslighting yourselves that this is a better offense without Juan Soto. It's not. But the Yankees knew that. So what they did was they planned on improving their run prevention. One of the ways in which they improved their run prevention, they figured out, was that Jazz Chisholm should be playing second base. Right? So they did that, and guess what? It worked. There you go. How about that? But the Yankees can't do things that are rational. They changed that. They've swapped it around for God knows what reason, and now Jazz Chisholm is playing a disgraceful third base, right? So he's playing an erratic third base, and you got Anthony Volpe, who's having his worst fielding season. He has the worst fielding percentage amongst American League shortstops, and he's got the most errors. So you've got that entire side of the infield very erratic. So that's not helping the run prevention much. Hence, you add that with an offense which is not nearly as good as their statistics were at the start of the year. They never were this good in offense. They're now starting to regress to the median. And now you're starting to see why the Yankees are going on a losing streak, because the run prevention is now gone. And their lack of offense is showing up. So there you go, guys. There you go. I fixed it for you. So you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to figure this shit. It's pretty simple. They fucked with their own plan. That's right. That's right, YouTube. Demonetize me now. That's fucking true, though. By swapping it around, the Yankees fucked themselves. Ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. So that's one of the big reasons right there, was that decision by Aaron Boone. Brian Cashman, the front office, the analytics, Mike Fishman, who is a problem. All those things are a massive problem. So I don't understand why they made that call. And by the way, DJ LeMahieu has been dreadful at second base this year. Dreadful. I would say that he's been a little bit better than what we would expected offensively. But defensively, he has no range. And he's been very, very bad. Very bad at second base. And it's a problem because his range is shot. He's got no range at second base, and his arm is poor. So when you look at that, now the infield is starting to look like a mess again. And the Yankees created it for themselves. So here's a simple fix for y'all. Right? Here's a simple fix. Nothing too crazy here. How about just swap them around? You put tomorrow, they need to put Jazz Chisholm back at second base. If they were a smart franchise, they go, we got this wrong. You're going back to second, man. Your natural position. We'll figure out third base. Peraza, DJ LeMahieu can figure out third base until we get to the trade deadline, where we need to acquire a third baseman of major league quality that can give you an 800 OPS. They need that. It's absolutely necessary. If they don't do that, the Yankees will continue to spiral. They absolutely will. They will continue to spiral unless they acquire a third baseman. And it can't be any old third baseman, not an Isaiah Kiner Falefa. I don't want Mr. Falafel playing third base for the Yankees. That ship has sailed. We need someone that can absolutely hit. Please. 800 OPS. Someone with a little bit of power from the right side. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. If y'all could please hit the like button. Let's have a look and see who else we've got. We got Jay Snow in the chat. Wells and Volpe look horrible. Yes. I'm going to get into that in a minute. Goldie back to earth. I mean, he's 37, 38. I mean, what can you say? I can't say I'm surprised. Goldie looks bad at the plate right now. I mean, I think it's a slump. I mean, if there's one guy that I'm not overly concerned about, it's Goldschmidt. He's a pro. He's a borderline Hall of Famer. And he's been incredible playing first base. I'll tell you what, if he wasn't playing first base this year, Volpe would have 20 errors. He's got 10. I think he'd have another 10. That's how bad he's been. And we're not even going to talk about Jazz Chisholm's wild throws. Um, Jay Snow doesn't trust Cashman. I can't say I do either, because the biggest thing that the Yankees needed post December was they needed a third baseman, but they didn't do it. And they've gotten what they deserved. They overrated themselves. And they're getting what they deserve. It's a good point here from Yolo Hernandez. Just start letting baseball players work in organizations. Yeah, how about that? Not guys who went to Yale. It's a freaking great point. Did you all catch what Clint Frazier said? The Yankees have too many rocket scientists, nuclear physicists, playing in the working in baseball front offices instead of just baseball guys. It's a common complaint, man. I know it sounds like I'm an old man yelling at the lawn, but you do need baseball guys in organizations. The thing is, the Yankees are too tied to analytics, and they're not. It's good. Analytics are very important, but you also need to, you use your eyes. What did Joe Torre once say to Brian Cashman? Probably got him fired. He said, "Never forget that baseball has a living breathing entity. Baseball's got a heart. It does. But now the modern physicists and the nuclear physicists that are working in Yankee front offices only treat you as a statistic. They don't pay attention to things like clutch. They don't pay attention to hot. They don't pay attention to cold. And how about this for a perfect example? Jason Dominguez had 4 hits. And then he sat he sat the next day. The Yankees won. Dominguez was their best player. He got 4 hits. He didn't play the next game. Because apparently hot and cold doesn't exist. Tell that to A-Rod, who would be in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Tell that to A-Rod that hot and cold doesn't exist. Tell it to any Major League Baseball player that made a successful living in the past. Try and tell them that there are times where you're hot and there's times where you're cold. It's freaking absurd that we're in this situation that the Yankee front office think that they're smarter than everybody else, and it's very simple stuff. Very simple stuff. How are you planning on developing Dominguez if you never play him? If you use him as a 5th outfielder? How are you planning on using him? How are you planning on developing your rookie that way? He has 4 hits and he sits the next day? For what reason? What reason on earth? Why? Because you have to prioritize Grisham, who's probably not going to be here next year? Bellinger, who has a team option next year? A player option next year? And that's it? He may or may not be back next year. They're prioritizing those guys instead of Dominguez. For what reason? It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous, guys. Completely. The Yankees have to be better. They have to be smarter. Stop outsmarting themselves. It's very simple stuff. It starts with moving Jazz Chisholm to his natural position at second base. Then you figure out third base. That's the problem. Another problem. This rotation, not pitching rotation. No, not pitching rotation. This rotation of their lineup rotation, it's not going to help them, guys. It's not. Because I guarantee you, every single game, there's going to be somebody who's going to sit out when they really need to be playing. You could say, it's a good problem to have. But when everybody's healthy, you really need to have a consistent lineup every day. You really do. You need to have a consistent leadoff hitter. You need to have a consistent cleanup hitter. You need to have guys that are consistent in their spots to allow them to get comfortable in their spots in the lineup and watch it progress from there. And that's how you do it. It's really not difficult. Last year, it was very consistent. Juan Soto batted second. Aaron Judge batted third. It was very consistent. Everybody, more or less, was in a comfortable spot that you knew they were going to be in, and it worked. But this year, it's all over the place. It's absolutely all over the place. Austin Wells started the season off as a leadoff hitter. Soon he was batting ninth, batting cleanup, batting sixth, but he's batting everywhere. Like God knows where. It's just not consistent. Dominguez, they tried him off at leadoff once. He looked pretty good. Bench the next day. He's been playing ninth, eighth, Volpe eighth, ninth, freaking sixth, fourth, freaking everywhere. They need to get a consistent lineup. And that again is something that a baseball guy would say to the Yankee analytics crew, going, yeah, all right, Mr. Harvard grad. But it's true that you probably need to get a spot in the lineup that I'm consistent in to allow me to get comfortable playing every day. Yankees don't do that. Dominguez, you don't know what day to the next he's going to play or not, right? Because they've got three guys they're trying to rotate, or four outfielders they're trying to rotate. Trying to rotate Bellinger, they're trying to rotate Grisham, and they're trying to rotate Ben Rice all over the place. And they're trying to rotate Dominguez. There's too many guys they're trying to rotate in this lineup. So that means that there's every day there's going to be someone that's going to sit that you probably wish is playing. They need to fix that. Depth is never a bad thing, but you want depth that are comfortable in the roles. I'm just not comfortable that these guys are. This is actually helpful to us because look at our offensive production lately. It's all over the place. It's really bad. I mean, when Dominguez was playing, Bellinger was sitting. You know, when Bellinger's playing, Dominguez is sitting. How does that help, guys? They need to find a consistent lineup. Find out your best 9 and play them every day. Yes. I guarantee you that you get more consistency that way. They need to figure out who their leadoff hitter is. I don't think it's Trent Grisham. I don't know who it is because, again, Brian Cashman managed to put together a lineup that doesn't have a prototypical leadoff hitter. But they need to find somebody that you can trust every day is going to be your leadoff hitter to set the table for Aaron Judge. Good Lord. Jerron says Jason Dominguez seems the best option. I'd probably agree because of the way that he approaches his at-bats. He works deep counts and allows for that person on deck to see the entire pitcher's arsenal before he comes up. That makes sense. You probably want that. And he has some speed. Good point. And he was starting to get comfortable because he had 4 hits in that one game. So obviously, clearly, he can hit at major league level. But the Yankees never play him that much. They play him about 3 times a week. 3 times out of 7 games they play him. That's not nearly enough. So he can't really be your leadoff hitter if you don't plan on playing him every day. They need to find a leadoff hitter that they know are going to play every single day. Figure it out. I don't know who it is. Is it Jazz Chisholm? I'm not with that swing. Bellinger? Maybe Bellinger, because he's not really the power guy that the fans gaslit us all, saying that Bellinger's going to hit 40 home runs at Yankee Stadium on the short porch. Complete lies. Absolute lies. Maybe put him up at the top because he's been more of a contact hitter. I don't know, but this is not as good a lineup as as some people are making it out to be, and that's also an issue. So a big shout out to, we've got almost 50 people in the chat. We've got 26 viewers on YouTube, 27 viewers on YouTube, and 24 people on X. So shout out to y'all, 51. Please, for those that are on X, when you get a chance, hop on over to YouTube, hit the like button, hit the sub button, and if you do, you have the opportunity to come and chat to myself. Give your points. If you agree, disagree, don't really care. Very happy to have an open discourse. What have we got here? Good to see you in the chat. They weren't struggling in the beginning of the season and had the same rotation going on, so something clearly has changed. Well, I think it was more of an anomaly, man. Everybody got hot at the same time. But you have to pay attention to, they're not as good as you are when you're winning and not as bad as you are when you're losing. It's always in between. I think that we got to the problem here is just, that's what the issue is. They don't really have a prototypical leadoff hitter. They don't really have a cleanup hitter. They don't have a third baseman that can hit from power from the right side. That's really the issue. If you look at it, right, Anthony Volpe, he's a below average hitter, right? Most metrics, he's a below average hitter. So he's a below average hitter, right? Third base, well, let's just forget third because we don't have one, right? So that's Volpe, right? Then you got Chisholm. He's good. He strikes out a lot, but he's got well over 100 OPS, so that's okay. We're fine with him. DJ LeMay, he's giving like a 500 OPS. That's below average. Can't have that. Goldschmidt, his metrics against lefties are fantastic. Against righties, very poor. Okay, he's meant to be your main replacement with Soto gone. So there's that. Aaron Judge, brilliant, no question there. Dominguez is a rookie. He's not. I mean, I like him a lot. I don't know how much the Yankees like him. So then you got Bellinger, he's been fine. He's been fine. Not great, not bad. Okay. And then you got Austin Wells, who's having a very bad year. I'm just not sure. And then you got Big G, who is obviously still working himself back from being out for a long time. I'm not overly concerned about Big G. Big G's going to go on a hot streak fairly soon. I'm just not convinced that the rest of the guys will. I don't know. Consistently, I don't expect Anthony Volpe to suddenly start hitting. He hasn't done his entire career. Not to the kind of standard that we expect or need. You know what I'm saying? I think this is who Goldschmidt is at 37 years old. He's going to absolutely mash against lefties. I don't know about righties. Bellinger, he's not really been a power guy since his MVP year. By and large, he hasn't. I'm just not sure, if you look at the rest of this lineup, who you're expecting to be a really good protection for Aaron Judge. And I think that's the problem. Don't have a leadoff hitter. That's a problem. Don't have enough power from the right side. That's a massive problem. The Yankees have some holes in this lineup. So this whole idea that Aaron Boone was just feeding us nonsense after the Red Sox series. Oh, we're great. We're fantastic. We're the big bad Yankee. Blah, blah, blah. It's just all freaking, all fluff. It's all fluff. It's all fluff. But we stumbled on one guy who should be playing every day, and that's Ben Rice. So I want y'all in the chat. Hit me up with your suggestions. How do we get Ben Rice playing every day? I think the suggestion that makes the most sense is Ben Rice be our everyday catcher. And then you make Austin Wells a platoon catcher. How about that? If you have that, and then on days that he's not doing it, have Ben Rice DH. How would that work for you guys? I think that should be what they should be aiming to do. I don't really like Ben Rice at first base, but I think he can catch. I think he's got decent pop time. Scar's going very well as a backup catcher. He is. He's been good. Again, this Yankee roster is so clunky when they've legitimately got three catchers. They got three catchers, got no third baseman. They've got four outfielders. They don't have a quality shortstop. You don't know who's going to play. We don't have league average quality coming from second base or third base right now. That's why it's such a clunky lineup. And that's why we're starting to lose, guys. It's over says trade Wells, start Rice, stash Escara. I don't really want to trade Wells. I like Wells. And Wells is a very good catcher. It's not about beating up on Wells. I'm just not sure whether he should be playing every day. And he swings at the first pitch too much. And his numbers are not good enough to do that. I think Ben Rice should be ramped up to be the catcher. It is about opening up at bats for Rice. They need to start opening up at bats for Rice. Rice should be starting every day. Jerome prefers Rice over Wells. I do too. Could Wells be taught another position? I don't think so. I mean, this was useful because I really wanted Wells to work out. I was actually thinking that Wells would have a big year this year and that Wells would be an all-star catcher. I actually predicted that. I was completely wrong. So it's not about beating up on guys because I actually had high expectations for Wells. I liked him. I still like him as a catcher. I thought that his offense was going to come together. It looks like I was wrong. He has raw power, but just not consistent power. And if you look at his numbers, it's just not been very good. I mean, power at catcher has never been that consistent anyway. So Wells is still probably, I think, last time I checked, Wells is fourth in RBIs or whatever at catcher for the American League, which is not that bad. But if you look at things like, for instance, his batting average, 214. That's not good enough. He's already got 64 strikeouts. He only struck out 87 times all last year. So he's on course to double that. He's also not drawing any walks. He had 47 walks last year. He only has 17 this year. There's no question he's going to even get to that 47 this year. That's a worry. So, he's not been that good. I've been disappointed with Austin Wells. A 275 on base percentage, nobody can survive that. And an OPS of 699, it's not even 700. Nobody can survive that and play every day. That's not good enough. His last 7 games, he's got 0 home runs, 2 RBIs, 192 batting average, 231 slug. His last 15 games, just 1 home run, 184 batting average, 226 on base percentage, 306 slug. This is a sustained slump. It's long and it's sustained. And you coincide that with the fact he didn't hit in the playoffs. Maybe he's not the guy. I like him. I just don't know if he's the guy. I think Ben Rice, you ramp up. You have a guy in Tanner Swanson who's fantastic at developing catchers. He'll work behind the scenes. Get Ben Rice up to scratch. Because, by the way, nobody expected Austin Wells to be this good defensively. So there's every chance that maybe they can make Ben Rice a good defensive catcher. Even if he's a solid defensive catcher as opposed to excellent, but he gives you that power that we desperately need, then I still count that as a win. Because Ben Rice needs to be in. He's For all the prospects that we have right now that we're playing regularly, Ben Rice has shown the most. Volpe, absolutely not. Wells is starting to trend down. Dominguez, they don't trust. Ben Rice has surprised us all this year. And if you look at his baseball savant page, it all trends that it's going to continue. It's all good. It's all red. It's all very positive. They need to get his bat in the lineup every day. That's what they need to do. I think it needs to be a catcher. That would help. I don't think Aaron Boone has ever written the same lineup more than 2 games in a row. Exactly, and I do think that's a problem. Too many players on this team think they're expected to hit home runs. Well, yeah, just look at Anthony Volpe's approach. How about the hitting coaches? I'm seeing a lot of the same crap. Swing at the first pitch, strike out in 3 pitches. This is an organizational philosophy because the Yankees have been through hitting coaches in the past. This is their offensive philosophy, and that's what the problem is. They've been flying through hitting coaches, the Yankees. So I'm not sure if you can blame the hitting coach. I'll tell you which hitting coach they should hire full time. It's Aaron Judge, as hitting coach, because that same hitting coach is the one that worked on Ben Rice, and Ben Rice is now crushing it. Maybe he has the secret formula. I think that would be a smart, because Aaron Judge loves him. Ben Rice obviously likes him. So, but I believe that his philosophy is different from what the Yankees teach, and hence the Yankees don't really want to have him involved with the organization. I think that we've come to the point where we start needing to look at this Yankees front office, their decision making. Because all these things that I've spent an hour talking about, all these issues, can be fixed. But it takes some introspection. It takes taking a step back and not just saying we're great, we're the big bad Yankees, we're fantastic at everything. You kind of aren't, guys. You're being lapped. Organizations are consistently better than you. The Astros, you could argue, are better than us. The Tigers are definitely better than us. Is that really acceptable? We went to the World Series last year, and now we're the 3rd best team in the American League? Is that really acceptable? And if you put us in the National League, I don't even think we'd make the wild card in the National League. In fact, I'm pretty confident we wouldn't. So does that really mean that we're the big bad Yankees? No. It really means that we're a good team. No more than that. We need to start aiming to be great. That's what this franchise is founded on, is based on, and they need to start aiming for that. They have to go back to that. They need to fix things from the very top. They need to start getting a better, stronger, more accountable philosophy. And things will start improving if they do that. Other teams are not worried about the Yankees. No matter what happens, they know the Yankees will eventually fold like a cheap chair. And it's not just other teams. It's the fans, like me. I know that the Yankees are going to fold like a cheap chair because I've been seeing it for years. Nothing's changed. Nothing has really fundamentally changed since 2020. As I said in previous podcasts, the ending will always be the same, but you'll maybe get different chapters thrown in. It's the same thing. Why? Because the Yankees don't really self-introspect. They don't look at themselves. They don't hold themselves to a standard. They're very coddled, very soft. And that comes from Mr. Bubbles. Aaron Boone is an incredibly soft manager. He's so soft. It's really crazy. It's crazy. The things that were happening last year were absurd. Absurd. And they never did anything about it. Now we fast forward to this year. That Red Sox series was disgusting. We had guys that were making the first and last out at third base. They were throwing the ball all over the infield. They were a clown show. They were a complete clown show. And instead of Aaron Boone just trying to fix it, coming out, being accountable, he just kept blowing smoke up all our asses. This is a great team. We're fantastic. We're just going to be great. We're just going to be... Well, okay, fast forward weeks later. Are we great? We just got beat 7-0 to a team that doesn't have a home. Are we that great? Come on. You can't fool us. Old Sarge says Judge is a soft captain too. Well, he's very soft in the playoffs. I mean, listen, my thoughts on Aaron Judge being captain are very clear. I don't think he should have been named captain. I do think that he's by far our best player, and he's the only reason to really consistently watch this team. And I'll tell you what, if Aaron Judge wasn't having a Babe Ruth type season, Luke Gehrig type season, this Yankee team would be in fourth place. So I'm not going to beat up on Aaron Judge too much. He's just going through a slump, and he's going to fix it. And then very soon he's going to start hitting 10 home runs in 12 games again and just be pretty exciting to watch. I mean, we know that's going to happen. He's going to do it. He's going to have a great year. He's going to win the MVP. So I'm not going to beat up on Judge too much because, to be frank, he's probably the only reason to watch this team every day on games that aren't being started by Max Fried and Rodon. He's the reason. Because who else is the face of the franchise? Apart from Aaron Judge and Max Fried, who else would you really want to pay good money to watch? That's a good question, actually. I just come across that. Y'all in the chat, give me someone else other than Aaron Judge and Max Fried that you want to watch every day. You can't say Dominguez because you're not guaranteed to see him every day. You might see him twice a week. Ben Rice, not guaranteed to see him every day either. Give me someone. Rodon. Okay? I can say Rodon. Yeah, you can say Rodon. Who Stanton. Yep, that's who I've got here at the back. My jersey, Big G. You know it. Fucking love Big G. All right. Well, you're also not guaranteed to see him every day. Bellinger? No, I'm sorry. I don't see Bellinger. Bellinger's not really a reason to watch every day. Williams Weaver. Williams is a one inning guy. He's made it clear. I only just learned that the other day. I didn't know that. Apparently he came here to make it and made it clear to everybody that he's just a one inning guy. Interesting. And that's a good point, is that you don't see them every day. Anyway. Dude, the names on this team are pretty damn good on paper for them to be doing this. Are they, though? I don't know. Bellinger's numbers would be so much better if he didn't have so. I don't know if you guys still think that this is MVP. Bellinger hasn't been that good. I think he's fine. Like I think he's a decent player. I think he's a good player. I think he's a very good everyday player. But I mean, we have to remember he's not really been a great player in years. 2019, he had that one ridiculous year, 47 home runs, right? Every year since then, he's never had more than 19 home runs. Never. He had 18 for the Cubs last year in 130 games. He had 19 in 2022. He had 10 in 21, 12 in 2020. He had 19 in 2022. 2023 had one season, 26 home runs, which isn't even that much. And he's never cleared 100 RBIs in his career other than 2019. I'm not shitting on the guy, but I'm just being honest. I mean, for instance, if you look at his OPS, he's not had an 800 OPS since 2023. And prior to that, it was 2019. So he's had one season since 2019 where he's had an 800 OPS. I'm not shitting on the guy. I'm just giving you guys some expectations that he's just maybe not the player that you all think that we've acquired. That's the reason why the Cubs got rid of him, was for a salary dump. They were happy to take nothing in return. If he was that great a player, they would have demanded a return for him. The Cubs fans were all delighted to get rid of Bellinger. So let's just be completely honest about it. The Yankees have gaslit some of you fans thinking that Bellinger is going to be a replacement for Juan Soto. He's a better defender, he's a good base runner, and he's a solid at bats, but he's not even in the same stratosphere of the kind of talent that we really need to be playing alongside Aaron Judge. But I'm not shitting on the guy. I think he's solid. If there's a player I can think of that maybe to lead off, it'd probably be him. Because he does provide solid at-bats. And he's a good all-round player. Solid. Not great, but only 10 home runs at this stage. That's not really the power that we were all kind of expecting. 39 RBIs isn't much. I think you could probably expect better. 326 on base percentage. That's not excellent. I'm just being honest. I don't know if he's the same player as y'all are thinking that he's going to be. Like on paper, he's not. Yeah, he's great, but he's not the same MVP player. Same with Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt has been probably our best, our second best player after Aaron Judge consistently this year. But he's not hitting righties. And he only has 8 home runs. So he's not really giving you much power. He's declining because he's, 37? He's still a brilliant defender, thank God. But, his splits are quite concerning. He doesn't hit righties. And that's an issue. And I didn't expect it to be this pronounced. It's crazy. Against lefties, he's got a 400 batting average and on an on-base percentage of almost 500 and a 700 slug. Against righties, he's got a 243 batting average with a 280 on-base percentage with a 300 slug. It's pronounced. It's a pronounced difference between lefties and righties. So I'm just being honest, guys. I'm not quite sure what you're expecting in terms of this offense just suddenly waking up. I think this is who our offense is. I just don't think it's that good. I don't think it's that good. It's fine. It's not awful, and it's going to have some fun games where they're all going to hit like shit, hit like hell as well. It's just who they are. I just don't think that there's much that you can really expect. I mean, this is Grisham's career year. If you didn't have Trent Grisham having this kind of career year, we'd be fucking in trouble. So, I mean, if you look at the Yankee lineup, right, and you look at their stats, there's not a lot of them that have an 800 plus OPS. Here's the guys that have an 800 plus OPS: Ben Rice, Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge. Jazz Chisholm, just under it. Just under it. Not a lot of guys with an 800 OPS. On base percentage. I mean, we've got three everyday guys that have an on base percentage of under 320. Cody Bellinger, Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells. Batting average. Batting average is not that good, guys. Austin Wells is batting 214. Anthony Volpe 228. Ben Rice 235. Grisham 247. I know nobody really cares about batting average these days, but that's not great. A lot of strikeouts in this team, guys, and this has been one of my major issues with the way that this roster has been put together. A ton of strikeouts. Aaron Judge has 93 strikeouts. Anthony Volpe has 82 strikeouts. Dominguez has 73 strikeouts in 68 games. That's quite a lot. Austin Wells has 64 strikeouts in 69 games. That's a lot. Jazz Chisholm is 62 and 52. That's absurd. There's too many strikeouts in this team. Too many strikeouts. Too many strikeouts, not enough OPS. So I don't see how that's going to change because we know that approach. We've seen that approach. You just look at today's approach from Jazz Chisholm. Did at any point did it look like he was trying to hit the ball in play? He was trying to hit it out of the ballpark every single time, swing out of his shoes. Same with Anthony Volpe. This is the team. They're all trying to hit the ball out of the shoes. Every time you listen to Aaron Boone, listen to the amount of times he says long ball. That's how this team is built. Long ball, long ball, long ball. If they don't hit the long ball, they can't win. Look at extra innings. If they don't hit, they're going to lose all the time. Because they don't hit situationally. They can't hit situationally. Don't do fundamentals. That's the problem. That's why this team will not go as far as they should. A lot of this is about the small margins. They really need to fix the small margins. When you go into close games, you go into extra innings, you need to learn how to hit the ball the other way. Why? Because it helps you practice for when you get to the postseason. Tight games in the postseason. You need to learn how to make productive outs. Move the runner over. Hit the ball the other way. These are all just good things to learn. And if I was the Yankee manager, that's what I would be trying to teach them on a daily basis. I would want these guys to learn how to hit the ball the other way. Their power is always going to be there. But as long as we know that when we get into situations where we need to produce runs in a tight game, look at Rob Manfred ball in extra innings. You need to find a way to hit the ball the other way. If you hit the ball the other way on the ground, you score. Every single inning of Rob Manfred ball, an extra inning, all you have to do is hit the ball the other way twice. You score. It's not difficult. Productive outs. This is crazy. They just don't do it. I also miss Gleyber Torres on this team. Evan's right. This is the stuff I was taught in middle school baseball. It's not hard. And this is the kind of stuff that we're seeing that the Yankees don't even do. Middle school, middle school fundamentals they don't even do. It's just absurd. So, I mean, the things that I've talked about over the last hour and 11 minutes, I mean, it's not reinventing the wheel. It's not reinventing baseball. It's just for the Yankees to start focusing on the margins. They don't have a great offense. They might have gaslit you to believe that they have a great offense. They don't have a great offense. It's an okay offense. It's fine. The key is run prevention. Get back to run prevention. Move Jazz Chisholm over to third base. Out of third base over to second base, I should say. Right? They need an actual third baseman. That should be a key, right? That should help, right? Let's get Ben Rice in there at catcher. Let's get him every day at bats. And let's get Dominguez every day at bats as well, right? And then I would also start holding their golden child, Anthony Volpe, accountable. So before I get into my midseason grades, before we sign off, Anthony Volpe, the Yankees' golden child, is, I would say, in terms of like how they market themselves, he's probably the second face of their franchise. Because he's Italian, because he's met every year, because he's he's a freaking the whole the whole school. He's they're gonna do they're gonna do a bobblehead night for him for that awful shortstop. that's a freaking joke. But before I just completely slaughter the kid, the key with Anthony Volpe is focusing on the fact that his mechanics of his swing is all over the place. It's very bad. His hips keep swinging forward, and he's constantly out in front because his hips are constantly swinging. He doesn't have a smooth swing. He doesn't have a smooth swing through the zone. It's very simple stuff. His hips are constantly swinging open. I have never seen in my decades of watching baseball someone lose the bat when swinging as often as I've seen Anthony Volpe. He's constantly swinging so aggressively and missing so aggressively that because his hips are flying open, because his whole body is all over the place and clunky and is out of whack, the bat goes flying. Bat goes flying. That is not normal. That's a very bad sign. If I were a Yankee hitting coach, I'd be like, oh, God. Good Lord. There should be people paying attention to the film because it happened twice in one game against the Reds where Volpe lost control of the bat and it went flying. It was almost a danger to people in the dugout. If there wasn't nets in the front row, somebody could have gotten hurt. I mean, this is crazy. That is not normal. No matter how much the Yankees try and gaslight you, that is not normal. They need to be looking at his swing because the mechanics of his swing is all over the place. There's a lot of holes in it, and it's very obvious. And I'm not even a trained hitting coach, and it's absolutely painfully obvious to me. So surely it's painfully obvious to people that are actually paid to do that job. And that's why Anthony Volpe has consistently been a below average hitter. And it's really bad. It's like If you look at his baseball savant page, it's appalling. It's appalling. It's absolutely appalling. And there is a problem here, man, because it speaks to the Yankees' inability to develop him. Um, and I mean, just look at it. Sweet spot percentage, 25th percentile. Square up percentage, 33rd percentile. Expected batting average, 19th percentile. He is not even running into bad luck. He's just a bad luck player. Everything trends downwards with his offense. He can't square up to the ball. He doesn't have a sweet spot. And he doesn't hit for power. He can't hit fastballs. It's a problem. It's really a problem. It's crazy. He whiffs 27% of the time on fastballs. He also can't hit breaking balls. He has a 178 batting average against breaking balls, a 105 batting average against off speed pitches, so he can't hit changeups either. So what can he hit? It's a concern. So basically, if you're a pitcher, you throw him a slider, he's got a -4 run value when hitting a slider, -2 against the sinker, -2 against the changeup. So basically, throw him some off speed stuff, and he's going to be out in front because his hips are out in front and his bat control's all over the place, and that's why he is a problem. The organization philosophy has fucked all these kids up. Yeah, that's a very good point. Um, and the best example I can give you, old Sarge, is myself, Rob, and Uncle Tats interviewed Ron Blomberg, the world's first DH, Yankees' first DH, very good hitter. He said that the Yankees' philosophy is all different these days. Um, when Gary Sanchez and Gleyber Torres were breaking in to the bigs, he was very impressed with them because they could hit to all fields. But the Yankees, under this front office, made them strictly pull hitters, and it basically halved their batting average, um, and effectively halved their production, because they're also focused on hitting home runs all the time. And you see it with you also see that with Anthony Volpe. Just look at it, man. He's always trying to hit a home run. Jazz Chisholm doesn't even try to put the ball, like, make contact. He's constantly trying to hit to the upper decks. So if he misses badly. That's why our strikeouts are sky high, because everyone is trying to aim to hit a home run. They should be aiming to hit to all fields. If you can hit the other way, if you can hit to left center, right center, you're going to naturally hit home runs anyway if you have a positive, solid swing. But the Yankee philosophy is all over the place. Too many guys are trying to hit home runs. And there's not enough power guys in the lineup that can hit home runs. Who do you expect in this lineup that's going to consistently hit home runs? It's Stanton and it's Aaron Judge and Jazz Chisholm. That's it. The rest of the guys really should be aiming to hit contact. But look at the chat. What's going on? Sean Michael in the chat here. Stan has 0 home runs. He's washed. He's hurt. I mean, you can't say he's washed because, I mean, it was only last October that he was all world. But the rest of your points is pretty spot on. Our team is pretty mid. I'm not gonna lie, the team is pretty mid. Um, I wouldn't say the Volpe is the least of the Yankees' problems. In fact, he's probably like the headline of the Yankee problems because he headlines what the Yankees' problems are in terms of their poor development. Like I'm not going to count the pitching because I think because of Matt Blake, our pitching is very good and our development of pitching is very good. You know, Will Warren gets a ton of strikeouts every 5 days. He's looking like he's getting better. Clark Schmidt, this start aside, has been very good. You know, we developed pitchers good. Luis Gil, rookie of the year last year, he was fantastic. Our pitching's fine. Our offensive development is all over the place, and I think we know why. As I say, when we interviewed Ron Blomberg, he's like, I don't really agree with the way that the Yankees have a philosophy, or the Yankees' philosophy in terms of offense. They're all strictly pull hitters. They're all trying to hit for the upper decks instead of just making solid contact, putting the ball in play. Kind of an old school approach. But the Yankees' new world analytics is actually hurting them in many ways. So I completely agree with old Sarge. The organizational philosophy has effed these kids up. Go, Louis, the whole team minus Judge is trash. Besides, yeah, that's true. I mean, you can't argue. I mean, Sean's pure ripping on the Yanks, and I mean, dude, you have a right to because this Yankees team is not good. Um, the whole team minus Judge is trash. Yeah, that's just a fact. I'd like Bellinger to be our extra base hit guy, not a slugger like he used to be. Exactly, but there's people that still think that he is that hitter that he used to be. You would think if you go on X at the start of the year, people were like, "Well, Bellinger's going to hit 40 home runs on our upper decks and our right field short porch." Blah 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 blah. That was never realistic. It was never realistic. Never realistic. Bellinger's actually been one of our more productive hitters, but he's not really a power guy. He just isn't. He's had one season of hitting 20 home runs or more in 6 years. One season. So let's stop lying to ourselves. Stop lying to ourselves that he's going to somehow just erupt. There's a reason why the Cubs got rid of him for nothing. And the Cubs are not missing him in the least. I'm just being realistic. I like Goldschmidt, though. I think he was a good signing. But he can't hit righties. That's a problem. If you look at the way this Yankee roster is constituted, it's almost too focused on platoons. There's a lot of guys that can only hit lefties. Some guys that can only hit righties. And that's why it's a problem. That's why there's always going to be like that's why it's kind of a clunky roster. Goldie and Belly are 200 hitters since May 1st. I thought Goldie and Belly would hit better, but I guess not. Bellinger was never going to hit better. Goldie, I mean, he struggled last year. His entire first half of last year, he was a below average hitter. But he fixed it, and he was very good afterwards. I think this has been a very good season for Goldie. Lucas got an interesting point here. Knowing what we know now, was the Jazz Chisholm trade really a success? He's soft, and he's got an uppercut swing, which makes him inconsistent, and the Yankees keep playing him at third base. Well, I broke it down at the start of the podcast. He is abysmal at third base this year. Terrible. Was the Jazz Chisholm trade really a success? I would say yeah. I would say yeah, but I think we paid too much for him because we gave a really good hitter away to the Marlins. A really good hitter. I think we overpaid for Jazz Chisholm, but I think if Jazz Chisholm was managed properly, where he's playing second base, which is his natural position, he was playing it at a very, very good level. Statistically, he was one of the better short second basemen in the American League statistically, prior to moving him to third. If you had that, and he's giving you an 800 plus OPS, and he's giving you power, he's giving you stolen base, he's giving you his athleticism, which we need. We need all those things. I think he was a very useful addition, and he was very good when we acquired him last year. So the problem with him, though, is he needs to be controlled, and he's out of control. And because we've got such a soft ass manager, he's allowed him to just get himself thrown out of games, like he did in the Reds game. Get himself thrown out because he just kept talking and talking and talking. Just like someone needs to shut him up occasionally. And again, that speaks to the organization. So I can't really blame Jazz Chisholm. If the Yankees had a better, like, stronger front office and a better, stronger manager and a tougher mentality, this shit that Jazz pulls, where he's acting the fool, would get absolutely shut down quick. So he's right. Louis right. The Jazz had no business acting up. The Reds got bad calls also. And yeah, that's why I'm not going to. What did Jazz and Aaron Boone blame? Yeah, he blamed Jose Trevino. Oh, it's Trevino's fault. Oh, he started it. And that's laughable. 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 And the process is just nonsense. That's all that Aaron Boone ever says. Oh, it's the process. And that's what Brian Cashman says. It's the process. I don't know what that means. I think that is code for basically doing exactly the same and being very comfortable in your jobs and not doing anything different and telling yourselves how great you are. I think that's their process because they don't really have a process. The process is sneak into the playoffs, and if they lose, blame all their factors. Call it a crapshoot, rinse and repeat, lose again next year in the playoffs. Call it a crapshoot, rinse and repeat, extend Aaron Boone, give him a lifetime contract, rinse and repeat, same shit. Same shit, different year. Nothing's changed since 2018, guys. It's been exactly the same. I don't know what you guys are expecting differently. What, just because they made the World Series last year? Well, I would say 50% of the reason why they made the World Series last year is playing for the Mets. So that's just a reality. FJ's right. Shutting up a player when they act up on the field should be an issue for the team captain. Yeah, it should be. But we don't really have a captain. And that's what I'm saying. This kind of stuff would never have happened when Jorge Posada was in the locker room and Derek Jeter was in the locker room. Jason Giambi was in the locker room. Tino Martinez, Paul O'Neill. That shit would never, ever, ever, ever fly when a player is basically deliberately trying to get himself thrown out the game. That would never fly. Absolutely not. And Tats had a very good example because Francona watched their best player, Ellie De La Cruz, forget how many outs there was in the game, and Francona called him out publicly afterwards. Holding his best player accountable, demanding better. That's what you have to do. Aaron Boone never does that. Ever. Aaron Boone, today, 2 examples, just watch Jazz Chisholm mess up a throw from Bellinger, and there was nobody behind him. Because they don't even practice middle school fundamentals. There was no one backing up third base. I was freaking taught that. Back up, back up, back up. Do backup drills every day. Backup drills when I was doing baseball. When I was in a baseball team. Constant backup drills. What do the Yankees do? We're paid. Professionals. Don't even back up third base. Aaron Boone should be coming out publicly and saying that's not acceptable. Did he do it? No. Absolutely not. Blows bubbles. Austin Wells allowed a pop-up about 6 inches from home plate to drop at his feet. That's the kind of shit that should get people fired. People should be benched the next day for that. Will Aaron Boone do it? No, he will not. Absolutely not. Because he's soft. Because the organization is soft. And yeah, Judge is the best player in baseball, but I don't know how tough he is. But we don't know because he might be having these conversations. But what can you do if your manager is that freaking soft? And he's very soft. But I guarantee you, though, there is no leadership in this organization, because if there was leadership, this kind of shit would never, ever, ever, ever happen. Volpe getting himself thrown out at third base. Dominguez forgetting how many outs there were. This is the kind of shit that's been happening for months now, and nothing is happening. When will the Yankees take their lack of fundamentals seriously? Because it's the reason why they don't win at the highest level. It's very simple. Middle school fundamentals. Back up third base. Make the plays. Make the throws. Catch the ball. Very simple stuff. Aaron Boone's just like, okay, we're great. We're great. Love it. We're great. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, and it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful if you're the Oakland A's. It's disgraceful if you're the Kansas City Royals. It would be disgraceful. It was clearly disgraceful for the Cincinnati Reds, even though they won the series, because their manager called out their best player. And I would kill to have Ellie De La Cruz on this Yankee team. Accountability. There's no accountability in this organization. And there's too many that justify it. There's too many that justify it. Oh, Aaron Boone, he doesn't make the pitches. He doesn't do that. He doesn't hit. It's not his fault. It is his fault. Comes from the very top. It's also Brian Cashman's fault. He didn't bring in a third baseman, and he's far too soft on his manager. It's Hal Steinbrenner's fault. Because he says, it's very difficult to be an owner these days because of the Dodgers. Oh, the Dodgers are spending so much. It's hard to be an owner these days. Oh, it's fucking not. You own the single biggest franchise in sports. Fucking deal with it. Put your big boy pants on and start acting like Yankees. And that goes to every single one of you guys in the Yankee organization. Everyone. Put your fucking big boy pants on and start acting like Yankees. If you're on the field, back up third base, Throw and catch. And hit. Nothing too difficult. Aaron Boone, be tougher. Brian Cashman, be better. Hal Steinbrenner, suck it up. The Dodgers are spending? Well, go fucking spend yourself then. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. Hal sounds like the way other teams complain when George spends. Good point. It's a very good point. How is the definition of daddy issues? I have never once seen Hal Steinbrenner compliment his father. His father is the only reason why he owns this Yankee team. His father is the only reason why Yankee Stadium is filled out every single day. His father has a lot to do with the greatness of this organization. Post 90s. And you notice Hal never compliments him. He's got daddy issues, man. He tries to be the exact opposite of his father. And I know I'm not expecting him to be his dad, but he can still channel some level of accountability. He doesn't need to fire everybody on a daily basis to hold people accountable, and that's what people are missing. It doesn't need to be as black and white as that. The only accountability I expect is every single day the Yankees play hard and try to win every single day. They're not going to win every single day, but as long as they aim to, then that's a positive start. Play hard, which should be a general expectation. And these kind of embarrassing displays get fixed, get sorted out. George would never stand for it. Joe Torre would never stand for it. Joe Girardi would never stand for it. It's exhausting. This team is so soft, and that's why I can't get all in on them. Because they're just so soft, and I know it, and I can see it, and I can feel it, and it hurts, and it annoys me. Because they're just so damn soft. And I hate watching it. I watched that game and I was like, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Anyway, let's sign off by doing some mid-season grades. So y'all in the chat that have stuck around, salute to y'all. Let's get some mid-season grades on the go. I'm not going to spend too long on it. All right, guys. Let's start with catcher. Right, we'll work our way around. Catcher first, second, short third, then the outfield. Start from there. Let's start with Austin Wells. What would y'all in the chat give Austin Wells as your mid-season grade? For reference, Austin Wells has a .214 batting average, .275 on-base percentage, massively below average. An OPS of .699, massively below average. 64 strikeouts, which is fifth most in the team. But he does have 11 home runs and 45 RBIs. His 45 RBIs is still considerably more than, for instance, Goldschmidt's 32 and Bellinger. How many RBIs does Bellinger even have? 39. So, I mean, that's not that bad. Plus, his catching has been at a high level. FJ is giving D-. Jets Mess is giving him a D. I would say a D. It's below average. That's why Wells, yeah. I'm going to give Austin Wells a D. Does anybody else in the chat have any other grade that you would give him? His offense has been massively below average. His defense has been solid. He doesn't have a great arm to throw to second, though. And his defense has been good, but then you see issues like you saw today, and that's embarrassing. I think D is a very good grade for Austin Wells. Maybe even D-, as FJ says. I'm going to go with D, so I agree with Jets. Mess. Austin Wells, D. Right. Cody Bellinger, first base. What are you guys giving? Oh, Evans going Wells as an F. All right. Love it. Failing grade. I think we can all agree. Failing grade. Goldschmidt, first base. Can't hit righties. Absolutely murders lefties. Gold glove, first base. And if he wasn't playing first base, he probably would save Anthony Volpe 10 errors. He saved Anthony Volpe with 10 errors with his defense at first base this year. He's been fantastic. I think he leads baseball in scoops at first. Rest of his stats, although he's been in a massive slump, and his power production isn't there. 8 homers, 32 ribs is pretty poor. But a 285 batting average, 345 on base percentage is good. 426 slug, 770 OPS, pretty solid. I think a Goldschmidt at one point was an A, but I think he's now a B. Maybe B plus. Probably gonna. You know what? I'm gonna give him a B plus. Giving Goldschmidt a B plus. Jets mess. Giving him a B. I think that's fair. Goldie is a B plus. Evan agrees B plus. I agree. I think B plus for Goldschmidt is a good grade. I think that was one of the best signings that we've made. FJ is going Goldschmidt B. I can see that too. B plus. I don't think there's any wrong answer there. I think a B plus when I think about how great he's been defensively and how insane he's been against lefties. He's been crazy good, like almost a 500 batting average against lefties. He just can't hit righties, and he's not really hitting for power. And that was what we would do, was what we kind of needed. So I think B plus, although you could make the argument B. His numbers have started to decline alarmingly, but it might be just a slump, but it also might be because he's 37 years old. I'm going B plus, Goldschmidt. Jazz Chisholm. Now this is going to be interesting. What do you guys give Jazz Chisholm? He's giving you an 800 OPS, which is only just under 800, which is amongst the best in the team. He's giving you power. He's giving you slug. Horrible at third base, but very good at second base. Very mouthy. And an awful amount of strikeouts. Jess Mess is not feeling Jazz whatsoever, C minus. FJ is not feeling him either, C minus. Jazz C, oof, not complimentary towards him. I'm not sure. It's a tough one. 798 OPS, but he's giving you 12 homers, 31 ribbies. That's 62 strikeouts in 52 games is absurd. But that slug of 468 is still better than almost like everybody. His slug would make him like top 3 in the team. I can't give him a C. I'm going to give him a B. I'm going to give him a B, I think. I'm going to give him a B when I think about how good he was at second. And I think him moving to third is not his fault. I think he's just trying to do the right thing for the team. You saw what Rafael Devers did by refusing to move positions. He got traded. So, Jazz tried to do the right thing. And it's making his year look worse than it actually is. He's giving you some power, which the Yankees haven't really had, and athleticism. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, giving him a B. But I still think he's a bit petulant, and a better organization would hold him to some kind of account. But I do agree with you guys' criticism of him. C and C minus is pretty fair too. I'm going to give him a B. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, let's go to the next position. Anthony Volpe! Haha! Let's get into the Anthony Volpe one. This is his worst season of his career, hands down. Defensively, awful. Offensively, incredibly lucky to have the RBI numbers that he has because he's pretty garbage. And he's a moron on the base pass. And Jason was right. Volpe's a bust. He passed on so many shortstops. Louis is giving him a D. Volpe's giving him a D. I am giving him a F. 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 F for Volpe. Fucking F for Volpe. F for fuck off. I can't look at him anymore. I'm done with him. I can't stand him. He makes me angry. I can't stand him. I just want him gone. He's horrible. He can't field and he can't hit. And he's not a smart baseball player. Low IQ player. No range. No arm. He's just so bad. F. F. But everybody else is giving him a D. Still a failing grade, though. So, I get it. Everyone else is going D. I'm going F. I'm sick of looking at him. It's probably just because I hate him that I wouldn't give him a D. But he just annoys me. I just can't deal with a low IQ baseball player. I can't deal with it. It makes me angry, man. He's so bad on the base pass. He isn't smart when he comes up at the plate. He's got no approach. He's basically everything that I hate about the modern baseball player. So that's why I'm giving him an even harsher grade than is probably fair because, his RBI numbers are pretty good. But I don't like low IQ players. I just don't. And he's an incredibly low IQ player. Which doesn't help considering the rest of his talents aren't there either. So I'm giving Anthony Volpe a flat F. DJ LeMahieu, I mean, what is he now? I mean, if you want to give him an incomplete grade, I'd understand. I'm probably just going to give him a C minus. Like, I could maybe give him a D. But he's had games where he's actually looked better than he did last year. But he can't play his position right now. He's been bad at second base. So what would you say? C minus D? What would you say to DJ LeMahieu, guys? Or just incomplete. He's probably not played enough games to be overly critical. I just don't know what more he can offer at this stage. It kind of looks a little bit cooked. Jets, mess, giving him a C minus. That's probably what I'm going to give him as well. I agree. I think a C minus. I think me and Jets, mess are in the same kind of wavelength. Yeah, DJ's a pinch hitter now. He has these occasions where he has like 3-4 hit games and he looks good, and then long stretches where he doesn't. So I think C minus. He's kind of surprised me for the better since coming in, but I've been disappointed with him at second base. So C minus, D, much of a muchness. I'm giving him a C minus. Peraza, phenomenal glove, can't hit. Yankees hate him. I like him. I think he does his job. I think he's a very good bench piece if the Yankees utilized him. Evan's giving him a C. Yeah, I think his C is fair. C minus for Peraza. Like he can't hit at all, but he has these occasions where he looks like an incredible player due to his defense. And he's made some amazing plays at third. So I think C is fair. Louis is giving him a C. I agree. Let's give him a C. Ben Rice. Getting back to the good grades. Ben Rice, what would you say? A? A minus? Ben Rice, 806 OPS, 483 slug. This is all the second best in the entire team, by the way. 323 on base percentage, 14 home runs, 29 RBIs. He's been our second best hitter, and he's only played 69 games as opposed to Anthony Volpe's 81. Holy shit! Our second best hitter has played only 69 games. That's great. Evans giving him an A-. Rice giving him an A-. You really can't play a position. Well, I think he should be. I think he should be an everyday player. I think we should try and make him a catcher. You can't hit lefties. Well, dude, this whole team is a platoon team. This is Brian Cashman's team. I'm just trying to find the pieces that you want every day, and I think Ben Rice is someone you want every day. I think that bat is what you want every day. So I'm gonna give Ben Rice, I don't know, like A-. I think is pretty fair. Let's have a look at his splits. Against righties, he's absolutely absurd. 10 home runs, 19 RBIs. A 511 slug, an 8.7 OPS, 871 OPS against righties. Against lefties, not so good. 4 homers, 10 ribs, 155 batting average, 600 OPS as opposed to 870. Right, so yeah, he does struggle against lefties, but we don't have enough guys that can crush righties, so that's why he needs to be in the lineup. So I think we need to find a position for him every day. I would say it should be catcher because Austin Wells has been so poor. Ben Rice has been such a surprise, and I don't know where this team would be if it not for Ben Rice. They certainly would not be first in the division, no matter how good Aaron Judge has been. So I'm going to give him an A. Shout out to Ben Rice. Rice, baby. Giving him an A. Big G, I mean, I can't really give him a grade. He's been here for like 2 weeks. Incomplete. Let's get to the outfield. Let's go with Bellinger. I've been okay with Bellinger. Yeah, I mean, he's not the player that the Yankees kind of sold, but he's good. Good everyday player. Plays a good outfield. He's one of the guys that you know is going to play tough every day. He has the right attitude, unlike some others in this team, so I'm not going to crush him for it. I like him. I think a B- for him. Good defense, meh offense. He's only a meh offensively, which is not worth what we're paying him, like 20-odd million. But, yeah, he's an okay defender, solid hustle player, good attitude. I like him. Don't love him. I like him. B-. And Jets Mess with Mess agrees, B-. I think that's fair. So far, guys, you're looking at these grades, and we should be very lucky that we're in first place. There's not a lot of good grades so far. Grisham, I mean, he's having a career year. Great defense, ridiculous offense, like 15 home runs. He's normally a platoon player, and he's been, our third best hitter after Ben Rice and Judge. Trent Grisham, A- or A? I love Evan. Salute to you, bro. The Rays deserve to be first, not this trash ass team. Amen. You're spot on. By the way, if you look at that Rays team is no good. So the fact that they're only a game behind the Yankees doesn't say much for the Yankees. I think that Grisham deserves an A- maybe. What would you say, A-? Y'all in the chat, give me your grades for Grisham. I'm kind of in between think maybe an A- for Trent Grisham. That's what I'm thinking. But he's been such a surprise, and you could make the argument for an A because I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Ben Rice for the A. Maybe give Grisham that as well. Jets Mass is giving him a B. Okay. But I mean, if you look at his numbers, I mean, we only have a couple of guys that have an 800 plus OPS, and he gives you that. He's he's on course to just obliterate his career home runs. I think is what 18, his best home runs he's ever had in the season. He's got 15 already. I think he deserves to get an A. I don't know. I'm gonna give him an A. Give him an A. Okay, we are going to Dominguez. I mean, I like him. He's actually one of the few in this team I actually like. Evan, A. Yeah, I agree. Evan. Dominguez is actually one of the few guys on this team I actually like. I'm giving, but I don't know if he's had a great year. The Yankees don't trust him. He doesn't play nearly enough. He has 4 hit games, but then he also goes in long stretches where he looks kind of bad. So, what would you say? B minus? His defense has been decent and left. What would you guys say? B minus? B? A minus? A? What are you going? Dominguez B. Evans going Dominguez B. It's pretty fair. I'm going to look at Chisholm Dominguez's baseball savant page to make a firm decision. I'm edging towards a B minus. So his arm strength is considered in the 88th percentile. His sprint speed is 86th percentile. Base running value is in the 89th percentile. Batting run value is in the 62nd percentile. That's okay. Fielding run value is actually not that good. -5. Hard hit percentage, very good. Bat speed, very good. Squared up percentage, 6th percentile, and he strikes out too much. I'm giving him a B minus. Boone doesn't treat him fairly. No, he doesn't. I think Dominguez would be having a much better year if the Yankees actually liked them. I would say B minus though. I think that's it for the offense. I think that's basically it. So the only failing grades: Austin Wells and Anthony Volpe. Absolutely garbage. The rest, just kind of mid, which is basically how I would view. And then Aaron Judge, I mean, A plus. A plus. I don't think there's any argument there. A plus, A plus plus, doesn't matter. A plus. Let's get to the pitching. Max Fried, A plus. Don't think there's any argument there. Rodon, what would you go? A minus? Jonathan, what is the question? I'm going through the midseason grades, bro. Judge A because he doesn't hit in the clutch. Ouch. Everyone's crushing him. Fried A plus 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 plus. Yeah, man. I'm still giving him an A. Well, Jonathan's giving it Judge an A minus. Damn. Fried A plus. I'm giving Judge an A plus too. Rodon A minus. I agree with Jonathan. That's what I would give Rodon. Clark Schmidt B plus. He's had no hit stuff for 2 or 3 outings, but then he had pretty poor outing today, but our defense didn't help him. Evans giving Rodon an A, yeah, can make that argument too. Schmidt B plus, I agree, Jonathan. I think Schmidt's a B plus guy. Will Warren, what would you say? B minus, C plus, B minus. I think he's actually surprised us. He's been very good lately. B minus for Will Warren. Pretty happy with him. Jonathan's giving him a B. All right. You can make that argument too. I think he's been pretty okay. Yarbrough, C plus. Winans, I only saw one outing, but he was pretty bad. Marcus Stroman, F for fuck off. And we get to see him tomorrow, which really says everything about this Yankee organization. Marcus Stroman, big, flat, F. 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 Absolute F for Marcus Stroman. You absolute garbage pitcher. You are horrible, horrible. Please, please, please leave the Yankees. F for Marcus Stroman. Cookie Carrasco, so bad he had to be DFA'd. F, F, F. That's it for the starting pitching. Bullpen. I mean, Dreamweaver, A minus. Williams. I'm gonna leave Williams last. Let's go with Cruz. I'm giving him a B plus, maybe even A minus. He's been very good. Lasagna, C. Lighter, C. Evans going Cruz A minus. I can go with that. Weaver A minus. I agree with that. Lasagna C. Yeah, I agree. Loizaga C for him. That's what I'd give. Tim Hill C minus. Yeah, he's a ground ball machine though. But yeah, I think a C for him. I think he's okay. He does exactly what it says on the tin with him. We have too many relievers that are too similar. Anyway, lots of C's there. Cruz A minus. I'll give you that. Weaver A minus. Agree with that. Let's get to Williams. What do we give Williams? Started off horribly, but since then he's actually been very good. Hamlin's awful. Hamlin, I'm giving him an F. D plus, I think that's kind. He's been horrible. F for Hamlin. F for Hamilton. Jonathan's going B plus for Williams. It's kind of extremes. Like he's like been very good now, absolutely atrocious. Came in. Maybe it's the way the Yankees have handled him, because apparently he's come out and said that he didn't really like the way that the Yankees were calling his pitches before. So he's just scrapped that. He's just doing his own thing now. So maybe the Yankees haven't put him in the best position to succeed. I'm going to give him a B. Although you can make the argument C. I think B's maybe B's generous, but he's been very good lately. I'm probably going to give him a B minus. That leaves, last and not least, Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone. What would you guys grade Brian Cashman's offseason? It involves the Narvaez trade, which is really bad. I'd give it an F. Bellinger signing, Bellinger trade, I should say. Pretty good. It's kind of that trade was kind of a B. He's not been great, but he's been pretty good. Goldschmidt's signing's been very good. Say that's like an A signing. Max Fried signing A plus. Williams trade, it's pretty solid. I mean, love the return. Like Nestor Cortez for Williams is a steal of a trade. You give that an A. But he didn't bring in a third baseman, which is an F. So, and he obviously wanted Aaron Boone to be extended, which is also an F. So, I mean, whichever way you want to put it, I would say that he's probably had maybe a. What would you give Brian Cashman for the first half of the year? B? B for Brian Cashman? I think he's done pretty well considering we lost Juan Soto. I think a B. I'm going to go B for Brian Cashman. I think he's been okay. Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone. April started very well. May started pretty well. June, absolute and utter disaster, disgrace, embarrassing. Should be ashamed of yourself. Evans giving Cashman B minus. Evans giving Booney Bubbles an F. The fact that we're in first place with Booney Bubbles is pretty remarkable because I don't love this team. You guys know that. But the lack of fundamentals is entirely down to him. The embarrassing lack of fundamentals, the softness. It's just disgusting. Everything that's wrong with modern sports is Aaron Boone as manager. Bearing in mind we're in first place, even though we don't deserve it because we've played horrible baseball for months. D minus. D minus for Aaron Boone. And that is my mid-season grades. Overall, I think the Yankees have been a C. Mid. I think the Yankees are just kind of mid. That's the Yankees this year. Mid. C. Yankees overall grade C. Very, very lucky to be in first place. Extraordinarily lucky. Incredibly lucky. And I'm not sure if it's justifiable to spend any kind of money to go to Yankee Stadium if Aaron Judge isn't playing every day and Max Fried isn't starting and Carlos Rodon isn't starting. Because the rest, it's not much to watch. It's not that great a team. So they need to get the move a real move on and bring in a third baseman big time. But I do appreciate everyone that stuck around with the stream. 2 hours and 7 minutes strong. I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm not going to rest it. I've ranted enough, but I do appreciate everyone that stuck around on another episode of Yankified podcast. You know what you guys got to do. You got to hit the like button. You got to hit the sub button. You got to share it out to your friends and family and the strangers on the corner. Have a great rest of your weekends. I'll be back on Monday. The girls will be there on Sunday, tomorrow, for another episode of The Upper Deck. Got to check that out. Tats and Rob will be joining me on Monday to break down this series against the A's. So be sure to check out our awards for that. Anyhow, have a great rest of your weekends, guys. Much love. See you all on the next stream.